start with an introduction to open intelligence, have some teachings, and I'll share my screen as a slide and slides. Okay, what is open intelligence? That's the question here. And we just stop thinking for just a moment, and what remains? There's a clarity, alertness, an openness, a power to know, a spacious, open intelligence, awareness, and what's looking. And obviously, we cannot really stop thinking for long periods of time. It's also not the point here, but it's an introduction to open intelligence that is always present. And then when the thoughts appear again, it's the same open intelligence present with all the thoughts, all the emotions, sensations that appear within open intelligence, all the thoughts about the tech, about the computer, about the how it's not working or working, all of that appears within open intelligence, and it's the same open intelligence, equally present with thoughts and without thoughts. And when we relax, that's what's looking. It's open intelligence looking, just relaxing as what's looking, what's seeing, hearing. And then this is where the short moments that you hear many times comes in. When we take short moments, when they are repeated many times, the recognition becomes automatic. It becomes stable in itself. And the act of forcing the recognition of open intelligence is not necessary. So, taking short moments throughout our day and night, not day, the recognition becomes automatic and more obvious. Open intelligence becomes more and more obvious and becomes stable in itself as it's already present, naturally present. It becomes more and more obvious and in our own direct experience. And we don't need to actually try to find open intelligence or have a special kind of thought or state or a feeling. Just taking short moments whenever we remember to do so is enough. Including coming to meetings like that is also helpful. Just recognizing what is absolutely reliable in every moment. Basically, open intelligence is ultimately reliable. It's something we can count on in every moment. Something that is always naturally present. If we count on having good thoughts, that's much more difficult to achieve. So it's like it suddenly becomes obvious that it's actually very simple to rely on open intelligence. It's not always easy, and initially it might have a lot of questions, but it's like getting used to our natural state, our natural way of being, ease of being, and having the opportunity to recognize open intelligence in every moment. Oh yeah, and it says this may sound too easy, but what already is super complete in itself, in and of itself, has to be easy. How could it possibly be difficult? What already is, how could that be difficult to access? What could possibly be required to get what already is? It's just like trying to get your skin. You don't have to try to get the skin on your body, it already is. The super completeness of awareness, open intelligence, in and of itself, and the points of view that we also call data, all the thoughts and emotions that appear within it are like air and a breeze blowing through. Both are air. There's never been any separation or division. So just like a breeze in the air is inseparable, all these thoughts we are having right now, sensations, feelings, emotions that appear with an open intelligence, awareness, mind itself. So they appear, stay, and disappear. All these points of view, but data, we call them at this point data. appear within open intelligence, like the air and the breeze. So the air and the breeze are inseparable. Sometimes the breeze is strong, more intense data, and sometimes it's very soft, but it all is inseparable from air. All is air. All is the dynamic energy of open intelligence. Yeah.
All there is stainless, flawless, ever-present open intelligence. And in that open intelligence, everything is perfect all at once, no matter what we may have learned about the way things are. Relax your body and mind completely. Rest naturally as open intelligence for short moments repeated many times until it becomes automatic. So none of this needs to be a certain way of feeling differently, thinking differently, or sensing our bodies differently. Our bodies do whatever they do, our mind does what it does. This is always about the recognition of what's aware of all of that. That's where we find that super completeness, that perfection is in the essence of everything that appears, which is this aware basic space that through which everything flows, you could say. It will become more and more obvious that everything is perfect all at once, that there are no adjustments that need be made. The idea that adjustments need to be made are fictions. And if you don't want to rest, that is fine with me too. Yeah. Candace Rinpoche always said, you don't even need to practice, just come back here. Come back here a few times and get a direct sense of that ease of being within yourself when you just are in a space where essentially wherever you look, all that is always confirmed about you is that you're perfect as you are. That doesn't mean that we don't, learn and grow and do all kinds of things in the world, but we're less or we're no longer driven by that sense of scarcity and lack and dissatisfaction. There is there is an indwelling sense of everything is totally okay right here, right now. Nothing needs to change. But as we rest as that, the natural motivation to what we also sometimes refer to in the teaching as to be of benefit, to do something naturally, like all living beings seem to always be doing something. Like we have lots of hummingbirds that fly around and other birds, and then moles are coming and digging up our lawn every day. Like everybody always does stuff, but they don't do that stuff from feeling like, oh, if I reach over there, there will be great completion over there. It's humans particularly that have this drive of there always being something wrong and that's what fuels our actions. But there is a much more natural, organic way of being when we can rest in that natural ease. We allow the natural ease of open intelligence to gradually permeate all our daily activities, even feeling pressured, trying, and struggling. We rely on open intelligence at all times, whether walking, moving around, lying down, working, playing, or sitting. This is how open intelligence becomes more and more obvious, and we gain confidence in open intelligence. That's the beauty of this practice, is that nothing about our life needs to change. Like if you live in a cave, great, you can practice there. If you meditate 20 hours a day, great, you can practice short moments even then. If you are a professional and you work 15 hours a day, also great. You can practice short moments there. Nothing needs to be any different than what it is right now. What changes is that instead of just being immersed in this virtual reality show, we recognize what's looking, what's aware of all of this that's happening all the time. Just for a moment, awareness becomes aware of itself, you could say, instead of being immersed and absorbed by all the data that appear constantly. And that is simple but not always easy practice in everyday life.
And then if the recognition of open intelligence slips away, we simply repeat it again. Short moments repeated many times leads to confidence in open intelligence. So each moment of open intelligence subsumes our old way of thinking, feeling, sensing, and experiencing in a continuous expanse of clarity. So yeah, so when the recognition of open intelligence slips away, we find ourselves involved in the content of our mind and trying to figure things out and getting upset with what's happening around us or with the person. And then we just take another short moment and we repeat it many times. And obviously, we have, like we said, like various ways to immerse oneself in that recognition just by taking a short moment or just being sitting here in a meeting, hearing about open intelligence or reading one of the books, listening to the talks. This is all like a short moment because we recognize and hear naturally about open intelligence. And it all subsumes our way of thinking, feeling, it subsumes everything, all data, and all ways of using our mind in the light and clarity of open intelligence. Because we recognize that when we emphasize description of data, it is in part to take over all our energy and attention. So we can directly look how it does that when we emphasize, indulge into some story about feeling angry, irritated, annoyed about a person or about oneself. When we see how that consumes our mind and energy, all our attention goes there. So if we allow data to flow on by as the dynamic energy of open intelligence, a beneficial energy opens up, vast and powerful. That energy we feel when we are angry, that letting it be as it is, opens into beneficial energy. It's already beneficial, but all our stories and ways of focusing on the descriptions limits our mind and lets us just view everything from a small point of view. And having that open view is allowing us to also act in a different way. We don't need to act on a certain thought or a certain experience. The impulse to act on anger can be very large, and we feel that energy, and we need to say something or we need to act on something. That might not be beneficial with our relationship. So these are just ways of seeing how data can consume our energy and our actions, the descriptions of data. And this is a nice way of looking at things. So when we just plant open intelligence seeds, meaning all these, yeah, and if you plant open intelligence seeds, an unending field of open intelligence will grow. And if you plant data naming seeds, a ceaseless field of data will grow. So yeah, so this can choose. Basically, we can choose what to do. So, and that's very powerful recognition and choice. And see what it does. And it is not one side are the data and the other side is open intelligence. Ultimately, it's the breeze in the air, and that becomes, which we don't need to think about really. It's but the teaching evokes that more and more, that open intelligence is only in data. There is no open intelligence without data. So we can't have only open intelligence. There always data is open intelligence is energy, so there will be always data. We always will be thinking, feeling, sensing, doing things, and in that is the open intelligence, energy, and wisdom. Okay, yeah, maybe actually we'll pause here for a moment so we can hear and see it here next time. But so we have time for questions and also shares. And let's see if there are any questions or you'd like to share how short moments. Yes, Linda, hello.
Hi, everyone. Could you give me an example of what it means to be wrathful with yourself? I heard that today. I've heard it a couple times, and then in a response to the one of the 12 empowerments questions, and someone had said, and I'll and be wrathful with myself when necessary or something. Yeah. I just wondered how you, um, yeah.
Yes. Mhm. Do you have a sense what that would mean for you?
I guess my translation of it would be to recommit if I'm letting myself um, indulge or am aware of it, just to hold myself to the commitment of relying on open intelligence.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like that response. That would have been it's much better than what I was thinking in the moment, but
Well,
that is
I
really
don't
a
know
good
about,
one. Yeah, that's
well,
great. That's exactly probably the context of how that was shared.
okay, because I hear about the wrath of God and the wrath of this. I was like, ooh, wrath.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
yeah, yeah, this is powerful.
so,
Well, I think what it points to generally when we hear wrath, like let's say we use that anger energy that we just a bit spoke about. We are angry about maybe ourselves, maybe in this case, but yeah, let's take ourselves or another person, and then we just indulge into the whole anger, and then we might really talk to ourselves in a really disrespectful and have commentary about how bad we are, how we didn't do well enough and we're not good enough. So there can be very we can be very rude to ourselves. I mean, in one way or another, everybody
yes.
has to look at their own thoughts and say, "Oh, wow, how am I actually treating myself?" So it's a good moment to take a short moment when we recognize doing that. But there's a lot of energy involved in these irritation, anger towards self or towards another. We say things to another, and acting out can be very painful, and painful hearing ourselves talk in this way. So, but the energy is very lively. So, resting in the energy, taking a short moment doesn't mean to try to push away all the energy we feel and be calm and peaceful. That would be forcing something, an idea on ourselves what open intelligence is. Oh, I need to be calm. I shouldn't be angry. This is bad. One shouldn't be angry, right? So allowing the energy of open intelligence to be potent and powerful and resting, there's a peace, but it's not seeing as, oh, it's gone then. It can, and then I think that is where also words like wrath, I feel, have a powerful place because sometimes we might say something very directly to someone or to ourselves, say, okay, now stop with this kind of. That might not always be the right thing. Sometimes it would be the gentleness of response would be the way, and sometimes the directness of something, which could be called wrath or directness or being very clear with someone that you don't want this to happen, or you're clear with yourself, like, okay, I don't think I'm going to go down that route again. I
Yeah.
won't do that. So you're wrathful. It's the energy also, like instead of being angry and all over the place and making ourselves strong, we actually are beneficially empowering. You could use these words as.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that plays into the Empowerment 10 that I'm on and the
Right.
daily review at the end of the day. And it's so different. Like, what did I do right today? Or how did I rest and how it was beneficial for me rather than because my mind always goes to how did I do wrong today? Because boy, I said this and why didn't I rest? So it's yeah, so okay,
Mm.
that's interesting that I go, oh yeah, so now let's focus on how open intelligence is here all the time, and how did I, notice it in different places and during the day, and instead of focusing on where I didn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Focus on, because we are very used to being negative towards ourselves, making ourselves wrong, and what
Yeah.
isn't good enough. So
Mhm.
it's wonderful to see. It's also really so supportive to look at what went well, and yeah, the open intelligence is already obvious, even if we feel it's only 10% of the day or 1%.
Yes.
But that is
Mhm.
something to acknowledge.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that review because it keeps me more during the day, I guess, knowing that that's something I'm going to want to do at the end of the day. It's just checking in and being more alert to where I'm distracted, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's also a kind way of putting it. Seeing, okay, oh, here I was quite involved in my data, and then it also supports next time remembering in those situations.
Yeah, I got drawn into a conversation last night at politics, and I was like, oh my gosh, after it was over, okay, we're not going to do that again tomorrow. I'm not. We're going to be alert and, yeah. So.
But every moment is in the perfect time, even if we feel like, oh, how did I get into this? But even that is like a perfect moment then to have.
Yeah, Rose, thank you for that. There's always this with this teaching, there's always I don't know how to say it, but it's okay, It's
Yeah.
always an opportunity to just, take a short moment and yeah.
Yes, and then what happens also over time, and now that you're in empowerment at 10, there's a deepening of open intelligence, and really there's no non-recognition. There's no moment where there's not open intelligence. So open intelligence shines through everything, even the moments where you think you're not taking a short moment, but there's more and more, what, you're recognizing that already. There's no way in, no way out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Hmm. If there are other questions or how it's going, shares. Hmm.
I have a newbie question. I got this email a few days ago and I rearranged my schedule to come to the meeting. I don't know how long the meeting is, and I do have something coming later. Is it weekly? Do you get a new email? How does it work?
Great. Yes, it's perfect. It's weekly, every week, same time. And we have emails coming uh, when you're signed up to the newsletter. And yeah, did you have another question on that? But it's weekly, yes.
So every week it's the same link, or every week it's a new link?
The link, yeah, same link every week, the same link.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And how's short moments for you going?
For me, uh, my practices are a little different.
Hmm.
Um, like uh, uh, practicing a moment of stopping my mind, or and I don't know the exact language you use here, but some of the things that help me get there is asking myself questions like, what's here without language, which sort of gets you to the same place. So I often get there by asking a question that shuts down the mind, if
Mm.
that makes sense. um,
Yeah.
and I do that when I can, or um, uh, moving focus around, like making it narrow to the tip of the nose and then letting it expand and noticing what's the same about that, because that's the part that sees it all.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
so I,
yes.
so just resting as awareness. Um, that sort of, if I tell myself, rest is awareness, now I'm giving myself a command, right? Or giving a command. And it works for like a moment. We're thinking still, and stuff starts bubbling up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
Take a short moment when things bubble up. It's perfect. Yes, yes. So these short moments, it's perfect to keep a short moment, and not even look how good it is. It always was helpful to me that I didn't have to look at the quality of that short moment, but just taking a short moment whenever I remember. And if there's a thought or not, it's so brief moment, very short moment. And does this timing work for you
Um, it,
generally?
it could, there's some things that I do at 10:45. It's 10 o'clock here.
Oh, right.
There's some things I do at 10:45 that I can move to, 11:30 or a Monday or something.
Nice.
But if I don't know, then then I schedule things over it, right? So,
Right. No, we
yeah.
are here every Tuesday. Every
And
Tuesday.
it's for an hour, right?
For an hour. Yeah, we end at 10, 11 your time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh,
We're here.
nice. We are in California right now, north of San Francisco. Coming from Germany, however, as you might hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wie geht's?
Yes, genau. Sehr gut. Yes.
That's all my German.
Is that your... Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect. Oh, that's a key question. Good one. Nice. Great. Well, perfect. I thought, Tom, okay, thank you. You said, yes. And Tom, you had something, I think you, oh, maybe I thought you were wanting to ask something. Yeah, Tom. Okay.
I think I raised my hand. Good morning.
Oh, you also raised, okay, Paul, but Tom,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
I was checking about Tom, but
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, Tom, and then Paul, and then Sundari. Perfect.
Yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit. I had the pleasure to visit the Sweden Center this last week, and yeah, what can I say? It was such a beautiful, intense, and wonderful experience that I could actually recommend to everybody. The whole atmosphere is so wonderful, peaceful. Yeah, we had the treat of getting some teachings by Adrian, and it was really perfect. He's so capable of sort of translating the, for me sometimes difficult texts into the into everyday life, so to speak. So he's really yeah, it was really eye-opening and funny, to be honest. But yeah, there was really something, and there was um, all kinds of emotions popped up from happiness, sadness, being overwhelmed. So yeah, it was something. But I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to take part in this spring gathering. So thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful, Tom. Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Great. Great. And then now you're on your way back, so to speak,
Yeah,
in the train. Nice.
train, currently
Oh,
at Bremen. It's all yeah, it's a long journey, but I'm resting.
wonderful. Yes. Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
pleasure. Thank you.
Great. Nice you could meet Adrian. That he's very funny. Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, we just for those who don't know, maybe we have a center in Sweden, south of Sweden, and have four times a year gatherings. Smaller ones in spring and autumn, but bigger ones in summer and winter. Yeah. So that's nice. Right. And okay, so we could yes, Paul.
Good morning again. Actually, I want to personally welcome Sundari and Yusel. Nice to have guests and visitors. I told Jochen yesterday in a quick little email, I feel like a kid in a candy store uh, for the group. I've got about 50 years of spiritual pursuit, 20 years of understanding and working in non-duality. But there was always a sense of something still lacking. And with the discovery of Candace and Great Freedom, and particularly doing the 12 empowerments, uh, I think what's said about the Great Freedom teaching is the pinnacle teaching. I'm confident and have deep conviction now that this is the pinnacle teaching. And it really, if you think about it, the last word in the teaching is rest. So, I mean, if you can get that and do that, what more teaching do you need? What more exposure to this, that, and the other idea do you need? So it's just been profound beyond words and truly liberating experience. I've got 100% commitment to open intelligence and the four mainstays and see the value in it and enjoying the benefit of it. Seeing the benefit of my family, seeing the benefit of my own daily experience. Uh, and last thing I'll say, I was telling Jochen also that I continue to be stuck on a single sentence in Empowerment 11 that I want to read again. And it's you could meditate, and I've been meditating on this single sentence now. I've got it memorized and just going deeply into every word and the implications of it. Uh, I hope that everybody hears this. It says this: everything and everyone. That's very inclusive. Everything and everyone whatsoever. I love that additional word. Whatsoever, doesn't matter, is the display of primordial purity, spontaneous presence, and dynamic energy of open intelligence, like a rainbow in the sky. It's just beyond words. Um, and that means everyone here today is the display of these beautiful things. And it's great to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. Mm. Yeah, powerful. Yeah, the 12 empowerments, maybe we can speak more about those, how they, but also hearing just those who are on the 12 empowerments is really great, hearing how that's going, how it supports like really the recognition. And I understand that you love that sentence because it just has a depth of open intelligence and opens also aspects of open intelligence, the spontaneous presence, the purity, the indivisibility, indestructibility. There are some teachings also that that go into all these aspects of open intelligence. Yeah, I remember that was one of the teachings we've done after we did the 12 empowerments, which was yeah, it was called the way of rest. Ultimately, that's what it is then all about. You probably, yeah, we could be in touch about that. But great, thank you. So, saying Sundari, yes. Oh, you're muted, sorry. You're muted there. You have to unmute. Wait, I can maybe facilitate that. You're still muted there.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, my name is pronounced Sundari.
Sundari. Okay, great. Sundari. Sorry about that. Yes.
So I just really discovered this way. Or rediscovered it. I had heard of it many years ago. But recently I'm living at an ashram. It's a Hindu, mostly, definitely Hindu ashram. My past studies and practices have been Advaita Vedanta, which is a non-dualistic teaching. But I've needed something to do during the day. So that's not about meditation, but a way to work with my attention, a way to practice, non-duality in a way that is real. And this feels so right on, because taking the short moments, everything stops, and I sense, or I feel that beingness, the isness, or whatever different words for this presence, this essence. And it's very empowering to me to have this practice here. I mean, many people do mantra japa, that's a practice. It never sat well with me because it's just more mind is for me. It just, I don't need more mind. I need less mind. So for me, this is it goes nicely with where I'm living, actually. And I understand it's Tibetan, but hey, after years from, ancient times, it wasn't this or that. It was just, truth and ways of accessing for us. So the other thing that I just want to share is that I've mentioned about sticky thoughts that I have had. And one of the things that comes up, and when the gentleman before me was sharing about the absolute identity of open intelligence and any arising, it brings up for me like, oh my God, I realize that is the truth. But if people with a machine gun were coming at my door, how would I really behave? Probably be scared and, not recognize the bliss. It's something that I struggle with. And I just wanted to share that because it's really important to work deeply to truly to accept. In order to really realize I need to get through this in some way, shape, or form. I recognize that it's important because there really is only one, and my heart wants to realize that. So anyway, I just putting that out. But if you can share something, I'd appreciate it.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And there is already so much recognition in what you share, which is really beautiful. how you already see the inseparability of open intelligence and whatever you do in daily life. I really like the humility of many of the like masters and teachers, like in the past or even present, like who always say like death will be the ultimate like short moment practice. Essentially, they use different
It's
words for that, but I have, for some weird reason, I often had this fear of torture. Even though I've never been like really in a situation where this could possibly happen to me, but you never know. And just my whole body like, shrivels and contracts on the thought. And of course, we never know what would happen if somebody knocked at the door as you described it. But the beauty of the short moments practice is that I saw that I could practice with the fear of the fear that would come up in that situation. So with
ah,
wherever my mind goes, that's the moment of practice. So I can have a thought of, you know, bad things potentially happening, or, things happening in the world that just really touch me or upset my heart, you could say, to really let it flow through me, the entire experience, while
mm,
being more and more at ease and at rest. And initially, it felt like so contradictory because everything feels tensed and tight and like not relaxed. And so to recognize that ease of being for just a
mm,
moment and letting that experience flow however it will. I still don't know how I would react if those people showed up at my door or if I was to find myself in a situation like this, but I'm confident in principle and in general, and also from other experiences, that this practice with the anticipation, like all the thoughts and feelings, the sensations that come up, is really the best preparation to then be in a situation like this. And still, the body will react however it will. Like any animal, when it has fear, it has a fear reaction. So that's not an indication of absence of open intelligence. That's just open intelligence as fear. So it doesn't mean that we don't feel the intensity of this moment as it is, because it will be an intense, like it would almost be weirder to be completely calm in a situation like this. So, with the intensity, to find these moments of rest amidst the intensity shows us that open intelligence isn't a state that is only associated with the positive thoughts, feelings, and sensations, but we can really have that full experience of everything as it is while having this probably short moment initially expansive sense of ease simultaneously. Yeah, so.
thank you.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome. Thank
appreciate
you for
that.
sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, very helpful. And if I may, one more thing,
Of course.
just um, to it's the heart when the heart opens, nothing matters ultimately. And as somehow, I don't know, as you were speaking, I was feeling the taking of the short moments, which actually helps open the heart,
Mm-hmm.
can, um, is trustworthy
Mm-hmm.
somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah. Everything about us just always wants to feel that way. Just be open. It's such, that's why it's called the natural state. It's like it just feels so right. Sometimes scary. That's why it's nice to have the short moments. We don't need to force ourselves into it, but it's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions, shares?
We can speak more about the next time about the 12 empowerments and see maybe certain aspects of the 12 empowerments. How empowerment one really makes clear how open intelligence is overlooked when we are so involved in our data. And maybe until next time, you can also see throughout the week, whenever you remember, or when you see yourself totally involved in a story of any kind or emotions, focusing on how we feel and how I should feel differently, and always taking just a short moment without needing anything to happen. And but while we observe ourselves indulging into things, emphasizing the content of mind, and which is very helpful to see it actually, to see how we do it with fear, with anger, with irritation, and yeah, that's basically the basis of empowerment one. And then 1, 2, and 3 give like the introduction to open intelligence while seeing what data, how we use data to feel better. Mhm. Mhm. So that's including how everything is the dynamic energy of open intelligence, the beneficial dynamic energy of open intelligence. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, great. Well, then see you all
Lovely.
next week.
Have a good rest of your day and night.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.